In the previous video, we created a tab control with tabs. In this video, we'll be displaying data using Python lists. We'll be first creating more tabs, then we'll use a list comprehension expression to create the data. We'll place a combo box drop-down widget onto the tab. Then we'll display the list data inside of the combo box widget. And in the end, we also look at a way to prevent resizing the GUI. So first, we create another tab and add it to the tab control. And again, we are creating a new function passing in the parent, which is tab 3. So here it's another frame. We add tab 3 to the tab control via add, and we also pass tab 3 into the new function we just created, tab 3 widgets, which is this guy here, which expects a parent. And separating this code into separate function just keeps the code cleaner. So this is tab 3 here, and then when we want to know what's in tab 3, we just look at this function. So our function expects a parent as before, like over here, and we use this as the parent for a combo box we're creating here, and we also need some data. So this is going to be a list, and we'll create the list here via list comprehension, but we could also pass in this data. Now there's a little Python subtlety that might not be as like you might think, like you could say data equals an empty list, like empty square brackets like this, but this is a really bad idea. This does not work. This can create really bad stuff. So make sure you default it to none, and then in here we can see if nothing has been passed in, no data has been passed in, then we use this list comprehension. And if you're not familiar with the list comprehension, it's basically a compressed for loop. So the best way to read it is from the right to the left. So basically the loop starts with for x in range 50 and then say x plus 1. So increment x. So usually range is 0 to 49, but we increment it, so it's actually going to become numbers 1 to 50. And because we have square brackets around it, that makes it a list comprehension. And what it does is it runs through the numbers 0 to 49, incrementing each of them by 1. In data, it returns a new list. So we're creating a list here if no data has been passed in. So even though we are creating here a list of integers, this is similar to the other widget in tkinter, the combo box has a text variable property, and basically we have to create another instance of the string var class, the tkinter string var class. And this will hold the data, and this is how we can get the data back out later. So again, we are creating a list of integers, but it will get turned into a string. And the best way to look at it is we use our list here and assign it to our combo box. With this syntax, looks like a dictionary. Anyway, so let's just run this with the debugger. So I'll put a breakpoint here in Eclipse IDE. There's a breakpoint here. So when we run this, we can get a better idea what's going on. Always takes a little bit when it's debugging. So what we can see, our data variable here is of class list, and it has the 50 integers 1 through 50. And our combo values is a tuple actually, and it has the same 50 values, but they have been cast into strings. So tkinter is a little bit funny sometimes, you just have to get used. So this is what that is. Our data, our list comprehension creates a list of integers. When we assign that list to our combo box, it becomes strings, tkinter strings, which are saved as a tuple. So when we run our code now, without the breakpoint here, just run it regularly, we have our tab 1, tab 2, and our new tab 3. And this is the combo box drop-down widget. It looks like there's nothing in there, but once you open it up, you can see there are numbers in there from 1 to 50. That's the list comprehension. X plus 1 for x in range 50. So that's what we got in here as the data, assigning it here. And we got data in here using a list. And we can also type in numbers, but it doesn't need to be numbers. We can also type in text and numbers. So it doesn't save it. Tuples they don't save things. But anyway, so we got the data in, and we can also type our own data. And again, it's strings. So when we later get it out, we don't have to cast the integers to a string, because within the GUI, within the tkinter GUI, it's already a string. Another thing we can do is prevent the GUI from getting resized. We can still minimize it and close it, but if you notice, this is grayed out, so we can't maximize it. Those resize handles, they don't exist anymore. So basically we fix the GUI size. And sometimes that's good because you might have a nice arrangement of your widgets, and then if you resize the GUI, then it doesn't look that nice anymore. So sometimes fixing the GUI size and then preventing it from being resized is a good thing. And all it needs is up here, we use our reference to the GUI, and we say resizable in X and Y, false and false. So basically we are disabling the size, and we still pass in the size here by 600 by 400 wide plus the starting position. So again, this guy now is grayed out, can't maximize it, can't resize it because of this line of code here. In this video we display data using Python lists in a combo box, and in the next video we will be displaying images in the GUI.